Hello friends, this is Ganesh and video number 1 about ABAP. So I would like to post some videos on ABAP because my first training session started with ABAP only. So I have given many sessions about ABAP. So I thought of let's post some videos about ABAP starting from the initial stage to the maximum of most of the concepts. Okay, example like till IDAC enhancements, everything to be covered in this particular video session. Um, and this probably it mainly useful for the people who want to learn what is ABAP, and I want to get into a technical area of SAP, and the people who are already in a SAP platform for 2 to 3 years. So definitely this is going to be for them additional information about the ABAP platform, and mainly for all my functional buddies, because the people who worked with me or who working with me currently, so uh, everybody has a option or interest to know what is ABAP, what is inside ABAP. Many people asked me, are you able to take a session on ABAP? So I delivered a few as well. So for them, this is going to be, hopefully it's going to be useful much about know about ABAP. Um, so these are the ideas why I have started this set of videos. So hope the people you might enjoy and learn something from my side. Okay, so we'll start about audience for this set of videos as like the people who wants to get into the SAP as a technical person. So I am new to this IT platform. I know about SAP, so I am from the background of some programming knowledge or not. I have interesting in writer programming, so I want to enter into that. Those people's also audience, and the SAP functional consultant. So they want to know about what is a BAB. Normally, they always say this is something background. It's like a dark area. We need to understand how these people are working. So many, I just came across many functional consultant wants to know about ABAP. So hopefully this will going to be more useful for them. And for the ABAP program who already in the ABAP area and they want to know little more about it. So this video is going to be yours. And maybe I'm going to start very basic. The people who are already in SAP, so please ignore this first video because it's going to be very basic. What is ERP? What is SAP? What is ABAP and everything? So if you're comfortable with understanding all these things, better you skip the first one. You can start the video, second video onwards about to learn about ABAP. Okay, and my things are mostly with the layman language only. So I want to convey very basic things and in a simple manner. Okay. So about ERP, ERP is nothing but a methodology. Okay, so first to understand before you get into ABAP technical consultant, I want to learn ABAP. You have to learn few basic things. So that will be useful to understand any requirement comes in the future. So ERP is nothing but enterprise resource planning. So you can say enterprise management planning is the integrated management of business process. Okay, so these are some things I just copied and pasted here. So my opinion is enterprise ERP is nothing but a methodology. So they want to make sure the data flow between the departments or the modules will be very easier. So that is a one line of my understanding. So they're going to give a solution for an enterprise. Enterprise is a very big scale of, always if you want to learn SAP, always think about in a large scale, it's a big company. So for the very big company, we call it as enterprise, they want to give a solution. What kind of solution? Every company has a different departments, different module, we call it as like sales department, finance department, HR department, quality control, production planning, a lot of departments are available, right? So the idea behind ERP is they have to pass or they have to share the information, the data between the department would be very flexible and very easier. So that is the underlying idea of ERP. So that methodology should give the data between departments very easily. Okay, so how the data flow is happening between the departments, or how flexible, how faster, how reliable, and basically how easy to access the data between the departments. So this is a kind of a one methodology. So based on this methodology, the companies or created or generated their own product. Okay, and once you come with the platform called ERP, so you have to know some technical terms is something but product. Normally, if it is software application, we are going to develop a software, we're going to develop application, but here we call it as product. Okay. Under the ERP or based on the ERP methodology, we have lots of products available in the market, and few are here. SAP, BAN, Oracle, PeopleSoft or Microsoft Dynamics, JD Edwards. So a lot of products are available. Every product has its own pros and cons. Okay, so we are not going to take any difference between why SAP is good, why this is not bad. So we are not going to do that level. So we are going to learn. So what is ERP and what is SAP? Then directly jump into ABAP. About SAP, SAP is nothing but system application and product abbreviation and in data processing. Okay, so this is one of the product. So we are going to learn. We're not going to learn the entire SAP because every module has a different people has to manage. So we are going to learn about technically ABAP module. So SAP has a different application. Sorry, it's a system application and products, and I'm not going to take much about the history and all. So all the information are available in your fingertips. So in 1972, the five entrepreneurs in Germany, they started this product or a company, and it has a different versions. I can say like R1, R2, R3. It's nothing but real-time three-tier architecture. Probably nowadays they are not asking these questions, but initial our days, or at least my days, they ask what is R3, what is R2, and everything. So R2, R3 is simple real-time three-tier architecture or real-time two-tier architecture. So whenever you have a time, please go through these things. People who are coming as a fresher, what is this? What is that architecture and all? And versions, it's very old product because it started 1972. So you have a lot of versions available, 1, 2, 3, with some numeric, with some alphabets and everything, 4.6, 4.7C. I started with 4.6C, my career. So 6C, 4.7 and everything. Then the two major enterprise component is ECC is 5.0 and this is ECC 6.0. So these are 4.60, R3 4.6, R3 4.7, and these are ECC 5 and 6. After 6, you have all enhancement packages. There is no version released. They'll release all the enhancement packages, okay, to support this ECC 5 and 6. And everybody knows currently they released a new kind of product like SAP S4 HANA. Okay, so this is about SAP, about the product, and hopefully this might be enough to understand from where we have to start. So we are going to work inside a product. I'm not going to, or we are not going to develop any application. We are not going to create anything like a web application. Okay, so this is from the ABAP perspective I'm talking about. So we are going to work inside the product. Okay, so the product is already available. SAP is a product. It's already developed based on ERP methodology. So we are going inside the product. We're going to work on it. Okay, it's not like, okay, I'm going to design one full web application using C, Java. It's not like that. So you have a different places where you have to start working on it. Okay, so just a line. This is a product. You're going to work for a product. Three different people are available in SAP. So I'm just going in a high level. Okay, I'm not going to very deep. Who are the functional? We have different names or not. So very high level. We have three set of different set of people available in SAP. The first one is functional. So functional is nothing but a person who has a domain knowledge and knows how to apply the same in SAP. Okay, meaning the person who talks more. That means they have to convince the client. They have to interact with the business. They need to understand what business needs. Okay, and how we can. Um, do the same or how we can apply the same in the product called SAP. So they have to talk. That is their own job. Okay. So they have to interact with the client or the business mostly. Okay. So we call it as functional people. So functional people is nothing but they have a domain knowledge. Okay. As you have seen in a company, they have different products or different departments, sales, material, planning, quality, everything, right? They have that domain knowledge. They are a sales domain knowledge. They are finance domain knowledge, and they are good in SAP as well. So they know how to apply everything in SAP. So a simple example, invoice. Okay, so invoice can be started with it can be created with any product or any application. Okay, even handwritten invoice also, even still somewhere it's available, right? So excuse me, so they know how to create a invoice in SAP. Okay, so that is the very basic understanding, right? So they are good in finance, they know what is invoice, what is credit debit, everything, and they know how to apply these things in this product. Okay, so they have to interact with the client, and the client say the same simple example. So the client says, okay, I want the invoice to be generated in this way. And one line is any product. Okay, if you take any product in the market, the product is developed in a generic requirement. So the product is not developed for one particular company, then it's not a product, and that is only for that particular company to work. So normally any product, if you take in the market, it works for a generic requirement. So in generic requirements, okay, if you take a finance module, it needs to create an invoice, there is a debit and credit, they have to check printing, so everything. So for everything is currently available in SAP. If you open a SAP product, yes, you can take an invoice. Very uh, feed all the information, all the master data, your invoice is ready. But business, every business has its own requirement. Mostly that invoice will fit for the business. If not, then they will come with the functional people. So they will just interact with the functional people. They might ask, so, the invoice, whatever you showed from SAP is perfect, but I need to add a few more informations in the invoice that is not available in the SAP default product. Okay, from your default SAP product that is not available. What is the solution? Then they get all the requirements. Then they will sit with the technical. We'll see more about this, sit with the technical, and they give a solution to the business. Yes, it's possible. In a default SAP, it's not available, but we are able to do it. That is called customization. Yeah, through customization, yes, we are able to provide whatever you need. So these are the major area of major work for the functional people. So they should understand the business. They know how to apply the same in SAP, and what are the feasibility or solutions we can provide for the business from the SAP product. Okay, so those people are from a different domain. It's like we call it as modules, or we can say departments, or sales department, finance. So every department or every module, we have a different functional consultant. So we call it as SAP functional consultant, consultant, SD consultant, sales and distribution, finance consultant. And nowadays people are able to manage more than one module as well. So people are good with finance and controlling, they are good with material management and production planning. So it's also happening. So it depends on the people. So those are called functional consultant. Technical, you're able to guess. Technical is nothing but just to fix the gap. Okay, so already you know product means it's a generic, it's designed for a generic requirement, and whenever there is a gap between the business and the product, then we have to map with the help of a technical consultant. So what kind of adjustments we can do? It's like changing the existing design. There is a screen to generate an invoice. So user wants, I want some more information. There is a reference number to be added in the existing screen. That is not available because this is a very, in our own business, we need a reference number for the invoice. Yes, we can modify the existing design or modify existing report forms. So forms is nothing but a printout in simple manner, printout or PDF. Okay, so I want some to be added in the PDF. Okay, you have a lot of tables, default tables are available in SAP, but that is not sufficient, or that is not fulfill my requirement. I can't say sufficient or fulfill my requirement. So interfaces, well and good, but I need some more. So those things you are able to change it. Okay, and how to do it, changing and all, technically we can see one by one. Or you can do create a new object instead of changing the existing model. sometimes the requirement is very huge or very it's not at all compared with standard. So we have to create everything from scratch. Design the screen, design the report, forms, everything. You have to start from the scratch. That is, you have to create a new object. And we are good enough to move the data from a legacy system to SAP. Like normally we use this for implementation phase. Once you implement SAP fresh and newly, then we need to move the data from the old system to SAP. And nowadays we have option of multiple systems are working in the business. So we need to every day we need to move the data from SAP to non-SAP, or weekly once we have to move it. So for that also we are able to write some set of code or design an interface to get the data or send the data to SAP to non-SAP systems. And the people who have a programming knowledge or interest to learn a programming, so you are good enough to learn SAP technical. The reason behind is SAP ABAP 4 is a, we call it as, it's a language for SAP. ABAP 4 is like the fourth generation language. It's a common human language or business language, we can say. It's not like high level language, so it's easy to learn. And finally, we can say our heroes, because basis or system administrator, the people who makes your system works perfectly. Okay, so they call it as basis. We have a basis, system administrator, security person, so everything's available in this. So they are taking care of everything like SAP installation, maintenance, roles, authorization, or enhancement package update, so data refresh between servers. So everything they take well and taken care from our basis consultant. So the people who are coming from a networking or security system administrator background, they are good enough to learn in this basis module. So these are the three set of people in high level we are available, like functional, technical, and basis. So we are going to see the middle layer, technical layer. Okay. And ABAP is nothing but about ABAP. ABAP, the abbreviation is Advanced Business Application Programming. ABAP 4 is a fourth generation language. So fourth generation language is like it's a human language or a business language. It's not like a high level language. Okay, it's very simple. The coding and all is in English. Like if select this fields and into table. So keep the data into that particular table. Update, delete, loop it. So do, undo. So most of the syntax are very in simple English. So it's easy to learn. Okay, and where to start? So as I mentioned already, this is a product, so you have to get into the product. um, in a background, many things are actually running. We are not aware of it. There need a server needs to be run. Mostly we are working in the client systems. So the server is, it's keep on running for 24/7 production systems or development, whatever it is. Once you start learning, you just come to know. I will give a brief introduction about different servers as well. So where to start is, you need a window or a particular place. For example, the person is belongs to a finance. So how that finance person is working in SAP means they have to get into the system, get into the SAP, and they have a different or um, their applicable windows, I can say. Okay, or they have to open their window and say, what I want to create an invoice, open an invoice. They need to do some configuration about the company codes, so they have to go to the particular area and they have to configure it. So every different functional people, technical people, basis people, they have a different own windows. To open the windows, we need a 4-digit, okay, minimum, I can say, combination of alphanumeric. We need a transaction code. So a few transaction code are like SC38, SC11, AL11, FI01, MM01. So those are called transaction code to open the particular window or application to perform your action. So as an ABAPer, you want to write a program, go to SC38 and start writing the program. I want to create a table, go to SC11. I want to create a screen, go to SC51. I want to create designer forms for like we have called smart forms. Smart form is a big transaction code. So different lot of transaction codes are available. You don't want to know everything, by practice you just come to know, or you can create a favorites for your development as well. Okay, so through transaction code you are going to open or open a window and start working on it. Okay, so hopefully this might give at least a basic understanding about what you're going to do with ABAP, especially for the people who new to SAP. And the next video onwards I'm going to start with ABAP. It's like it's going to be the kind of a topic wise only. So start with very basic and go to the reports, and then module programming, then go with BDC, and then BAPs, enhancements, IDOCs. So I'm trying to cover most of the steps over here. So hope this might useful for your career as well. Okay, thank you so much for your time, and hopefully you might aware of my channel. So my channel name is Just to Share, and if you have any doubt, you can just drop me an email at ji2share@gmail.com, g2share@gmail.com. So hopefully I'll respond as soon as possible. And if you feel anything to be shared, maybe you can just take a snapshot about your error, about your queries, and keep it in a word and send it to me. I will definitely reply back as soon as possible. Thank you so much for your time. See you in the next video.